Recovering from burnouts created a problem I didn't expect. All of a sudden, I can't pretend the way we're supposed to live is normal anymore. And the thing is, I know that I never really thought it was normal, at least when I was younger. I remember the first 2 years of my big girl job right after university. The first 2 years I cried every single day because I couldn't believe that was it. That's what we're supposed to do with our lives. Like, this is how I'm spending the next 40 to 45 years of my life. It didn't make sense to me. And yeah, for every single day for the first 2 years, I cried. I cried a lot. This is what I'm supposed to do for the next 40 to 45 years? Wake up, go to work, spend all of my energy just working, come home exhausted, and then fit the rest of what is supposed to be a human life into the hours where I no longer have any energy, go to sleep, and then repeat forever for 40 to 45 years. I remember how depressed that made me. It didn't feel right to me. But eventually, I got really fucking good at doing it anyway. I think that's probably where my burnout story started. It's not like I suddenly decided I loved that way of life. Certainly not. And I didn't just wake up and think like, okay, this is how we be adults. Let's go. Woohoo. I think I just accepted that that's how it was and that that's what it was gonna be. And if that's what it was gonna be, I was gonna make the best of it because I refused to live that depressed and that annoyed forever. So I adapted, like a lot of us did. And for me, adapting to corporate life meant adapting to living off of adrenaline. I got busy, real busy. There was always something happening, always a fire to put out, something to solve, something to organize. There was always somewhere to go or somebody who needed me because I made myself available. The more I had going on, the more adrenaline I had to keep me going. It became addictive, certainly, which is kind of what's interesting about this type of adrenaline. It keeps you going, makes you feel capable, it makes you feel productive. It made me feel useful. I could get an incredible amount of shit done, and I was proud of it. So yeah, eventually I wasn't crying every day anymore. Thought I'd adjusted to it. To the adult life, to being a successful adult. Now looking back, I don't necessarily think I really adjusted, considering burnout in my mid-30s, but I think I might have gotten really good at outrunning the part of me that was saying this doesn't feel right. The fucked up part is that it worked for years and years. I became the person who can handle anything that people could just rely on, and I was proud of it. And people reward that version of you, you know? You feel useful, you feel helpful, and people love you for it. And that feels good, because you feel like a successful adult. At least, that's how I felt. You're told by colleagues and bosses how capable you are, how important you are in the team, all of that. And it made me feel good. The time I didn't know I was neurodivergent, realized it might have been the A+ student in me trying to just get that high again. But yeah, it felt good. People tell you how productive you are, how strong you are, how they don't know how you do it. And for me, at least, I became extremely proud of it. It was part of my personality. I could do anything, no problem, until I couldn't. But thing is, I didn't realize I was building a life where I literally needed adrenaline to keep pumping through my veins for me to even be able to show up as a person in my life. Yeah, because when I stopped for weekends, at nights, just after work at night, or on the weekends, or if I had a week's vacation, I would crash. When the adrenaline wasn't there, when I was in a safe, the work was safe as well, but I was in a safe space at home, I'd crash completely. So I didn't stop a lot. I didn't stop often at all. I just found ways to keep going and keep getting that rush. And then at some point, my body made the decision for me, in the middle of a vacation. It just stopped working or stopped responding to my head's commands. I couldn't move for a while, and that's when I realized I was burnt out. And all of a sudden, adrenaline wasn't enough anymore. I couldn't push through anymore. I couldn't make another list to just make it work. I tried. I really did. I actually made a list. Yeah. When my body stopped, when I couldn't do it anymore, I thought it was a tragedy. I was so sad. It was very traumatic, don't get me wrong, but I was so sad that I couldn't keep going at the pace I was going. I just wanted to get that back so bad. I honestly thought burnout was taking my whole life away from me. All I wanted was my friggin' mind, my brain, my capacity. I just wanted it all back and now. I wanted to be able to do things again. And in all of those wants, I think my goal was really to find myself again, me, who I was right before burnout, which led to burnout, but at that time, that's how I felt. While recovering, something some would call inconvenient happened, or crossed my mind at least, and I can't get rid of that thought, and I don't want to get rid of it. I realize I don't want her life back, not that one, because now that finally some of my capacity is coming back, all I can think about is, okay, what am I recovering for? Am I trying to get better so I can fit stuff into all of the empty time slots I have again? Am I getting better just so I can exhaust myself all over again? Am I doing this so I can spend every minute I have off just recovering from the time I'm working? Every weekend just trying to gain enough energy back so that Monday I can be productive? Am I just recovering so I can get really good at ignoring my body again? No, I've already proven I can do that. I know I can do that. I don't want that. I did it for years, decades, and I don't need to do it again. I think for me, that's where recovery becomes so fucking weird. Because after years of feeling so depleted, it feels so good. And I don't know where you are in your burnout journey, but it does come back. And having it back, even in little bites in the beginning, it feels so good. But every little bit of energy, every little slice of time where you feel like you're yourself, or where you feel like you have energy, that's an opportunity to fill it right up with whatever you want. But a lot of us that burnt out want to fill it up real quick with productive stuff. Things that feel productive to us. Like, oh, okay, I have an hour more energy today. I can work for another hour. Let's do it. Yes, I had a good week. So obviously this is my new baseline forever. Ooh, I have a lot of energy today. How much can I accomplish? At least that's my reality. And I'm unlearning it. I can see exactly how easy it could be to recover just to go back to the same fucking life, or the same fucking life with a different little hat. Because, well, I did do it once. I went back to work way too early and crashed a lot harder the second time around. So I'm not doing that again, but I also don't want to do it again somewhere else either. I can't do the same things. So there's been a really weird thing about this where I feel like I'm kind of meeting the younger version of myself again. The one who finished university, looked around and was like, this is what life's supposed to be? Seriously? This is what we're doing? I just had to adapt to adult life. I just had to do it. And eventually I did. But now I'm older. I know you can't tell. Ooh, I'm 23. No, now I'm older and I've already done that. I have run that experiment. I can be successful. Successful as in I can be a successful corporate adult, but it comes at a price I'm no longer willing to pay. I know I can force myself down a road to that type of life again, but I also know where it leads in the long run for me. So the question becomes, instead of how do I get to do all of that again, or all of who I was again, it becomes, what am I going to do differently with the capacity that's coming back? Because I don't want all of the energy that's coming back to go only to productivity just because I have it. I want that energy to belong to me, to my hobbies and interests and passions. I want energy left after work is done, whatever work's gonna look like for me. And I want to create things just because I want to create them. I want to show up like this with you guys and talk about whatever. Burnout for now, I guess. And I just want to sit outside and hang out with my husband and dogs. I want to spend time with the people I love without having to calculate exactly how much energy is going to be depleted from my battery for me to be able to work the next day. You know, I just want to be there. I want my ordinary days to not be days I have to recover from. I want to actually be in my life instead of constantly maintaining it. And I don't think that's too much to want. I think that's super reasonable now. And I'm getting quite a few messages from you guys in emails and on threads mostly. And I think there's a lot of us that are kind of going through this right now. And the thing we have to accept, is that this type of burnout recovery is going to make us a little inconvenient to everybody who thrived on us doing everything or picking everybody's slack. Because the version of you and the version of me who overrode ourselves constantly just to be productive, people like that version. Because if we could do it, we did it. And now we're learning that it's not because we can do it that we should do it, or all of it, all the time. So maybe we don't reply right away. Maybe we need some space. Maybe we need time by ourselves. Maybe being with friends is important again. Maybe being alone is important again. But we just have to remember that the people who benefited from us always saying yes and always doing too much, they might not love every part of our recovery, and that's fine. It's because we're not just gaining our energy back, we are gaining an ability we didn't have before, and that's the ability to choose where that energy goes. I used to think burnout took my life away from me, and I grieved it. I did. But lately, I'm looking at it differently. Burnout definitely interrupted a life that I don't think I would have ever given myself permission to leave. Because why would I have? I figured it out. I was a successful adult. I wasn't crying every day anymore. I could handle it. I could handle so much. Until I couldn't. Listen, I really certainly don't want to be romanticizing burnout, because I wish I could have learned these things in almost any other way. 0 out of 10. Don't recommend. But since I've been forced to stop for years now, I don't want to use recovery like as an excuse to become really good at overriding myself again. I don't want my old tolerance back. I certainly don't want to spend the rest of my life getting better at living in a way that never felt right to me in the first place. People's problem with my recovering from burnout is that I can no longer pretend most of this shit is normal. But then again, if I'm being honest, I never thought it was anyway. I just got really good at pretending, and I've got no interest in getting good at pretending ever again. I don't completely know what I'm gonna do instead. It's kind of what I'm figuring out here. But I know one thing, I do know what I'm not going back to. So if you're trying to figure out what the hell your life's supposed to look like after burnout too, stick around. Let me know what you think it's gonna look like in the comments below, and like and subscribe. We'll talk soon. Bye.